garlanded us with so many garlands that we would have to start taking them off. They'd be piling up. And in the middle of kirtan, people would say, please come in my house. And they would bring us in, and they would feed us bananas or sweets or milk. And then we would go on, and it was so ecstatic that Prabhupada would set up, sometimes whole streets would be closed off. And Prabhupada we'd set up a vyasa sign for him, platform, stage. He would speak for hours. And people were just, the whole town shut down. It was like the town was ours while we were there. It was absolutely amazing. For me, it was the most ecstatic, one of the most ecstatic moments of my entire life. In Surat, we did engagements in all the villages around Surat. So everyone had heard we were there, and we were invited to go here and there, and so we often went to many different people's homes, and we were guests in their homes. One time, Srila Prabhupada said to me, in one of these villages, Kausalya, you sing, you know, he knew because we had talked. I had memorized the Sri Upanishad.
Oh, so nice.
So he told me to sing. And I totally out of the blue, like when he asked her to lecture, it was like, I'm sitting there listening, Kausalya, you sing Sri Upanishad. So I got up, I sung the whole Sri Upanishad with as much devotion.
In Sanskrit.
In Sanskrit, of course. And it was the same thing, he beamed. It was like, he was such a proud father, and he said, come here. And he put my head in his lap, and he rubbed my head and patted me on the back, and he just was like, I was like a puppy dog. It was like rubbing me like this, and he said, she is a very good girl.
Good girl.
Good girl.
You're a good girl. He was a good girl.
It was amazing, and I'll never forget that, because that was the most intimate, physically he'd ever gotten. He oftentimes had patted me on the head. But this, he was like, come here. Down there. He was like, petting on me. It was
So much love.
So much love, and I mean, obviously, he was so proud. He was very often just like a proud father, especially with the women devotees.
Yeah, there's one story, so many, but one that stands out in Surat, because Surat was Sankirtan Loka. And if we've started with Bombay and we've gone through Amritsar and then back to Bombay and up to Indore, Surat was December, and the layers of our awareness of India, if you're peeling there's a lovely thing called bulb fennel that we get our fennel seed from, and it's like an onion that you peel off layers. And as we're getting down to the heart of this issue of Surat, this Sankirtan, not only was our own Sankirtan party getting tighter and tighter, and our relationship sweeter and sweeter. This is another benefit of devotee satsanga. The more you chant together, the more you exchange the 6 symptoms that Prabhupada gave us for love in the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. What are those 6 things? Giving and taking prasadam with each other, revealing endearing minds with each other, and giving gifts and receiving gifts. This is how Vaishnavas exchange love within ISKCON. And the more we did that, the tighter our party became, because through the heartbeat of it, if you chant Hare Krishna 6 to 7 hours a day, you're out there. Anybody who's done this on Sankirtan knows where you go, where you chant. If you chant 6 to 8 hours a day, it's another platform. You're not in the material world, practically speaking. So we were on one of these kirtan parties, okay? And it's morning in India. You can just transform yourself there. That time between dawn and daylight, when the light of day is beginning to erase the darkness of night, and the stars are going away a little bit in the sky, and all the wood fires are being built, so some of the neighborhoods are choked with smoke. And but we're in this atmosphere, and the party is just roaring, it's just beautiful kirtan. And we came to a bridge. There was a bridge across a stream we were in, a rather, maybe a very poor neighborhood at the time. It wasn't a big city neighborhood. There weren't tall buildings, it was low buildings. And as we got to this bridge, the sun was coming up. And standing on the bridge was Srila Prabhupada with his hands raised. And it was illuminated, you know, like in an eclipse. You know how you're not supposed to look at the eclipse? But Prabhupada's form was in the center of the sun. It was this picture that's just, you know, burned into my memory. And I'm very emotional to think about this. And there he was with his hands raised, and his robes were falling up, kind of draping on the ground. His hands in the air, and he looked like Lord Chaitanya. He was so powerful and so beautiful. So we had this little microphone system, and I was leading kirtan at the time. It was a little, you know, bullhorn kind of thing. And so Srila Prabhupada mentioned for somebody to get the bullhorn. So he joined our kirtan party this morning, and it's the only time I can really remember him on Nagar street sung kirtan with us. And he would lead a verse of Hare Krishna, and then our group would lead, and then he'd have me lead a verse of Hare Krishna, and then the group would lead, you know, follow. And so it was the second time. There were a couple other times where Prabhupada and I led joint kirtans together. And I cannot tell you where that took me to. Another time it happened at Conway Hall in England, and he actually said that Lord Brahma came to the kirtan. It was so wild. But this particular Nagar kirtan, I just never forget. Prabhupada with the bullhorn and those smoky fires and our little family. Oh, it was sweet, juicy, and sweet.
And also, I mean, one of the issues of your seminar here is male-female relationships. And I have to tell you that in Surat, we didn't know if we were men or women. There was no distinction. When we went through the...
You were sister and brother.
Yeah. When we were in the street sankirtan, there was no consciousness of it. So it was very special. It was a very special time. The only thing we were concerned about was spreading Krishna Bhakti. There was nothing else. Another time Prabhupada led kirtan was at Kumba Mela.
Oh, he led many times. Well, there's a whole other, there's a pastime. There's a couple, there's a lot of times.
Yeah. Kumba Mela was pretty amazing too. That was really, I mean, have any of you been to Kumba Mela?
Raise your hand.
Yeah, so you know, I mean, it's like, it's the most amazing gathering of humanity on earth. I'm sorry we're running late.
No, we have to stop.
All right, we'll stop. Sorry.
Thank you for inviting us to even begin to speak about Srila Prabhupada. And it wasn't terribly focused.